Then Martha can have one.
That's all I have. I have no more copies.
And then whoever else doesn't have a form, we just give you a piece of paper, then you can write on there, I nominate so-and-so. You have to put your name and your address on there. Is that okay? Who doesn't have one? Okay.
I'm
That's
just
it.
gonna go with who's nominated, which, you know, that you talked about.
Okay, so then next meeting is the actual voting. That's what you have to put down then, okay?
Right,
Okay.
I thought we were gonna vote today, and that's what it says on that form.
No,
No.
I have a question on that.
Okay.
yes?
Why don't we have a ballot box up here, and then people at a meeting, people put all their forms, whatever in there, and then someone takes it aside, count it out, and then they come back and just decide what, or does it have to go through other channels?
No.
No, we're just gonna do it right here at the table, we don't need to go away, there's not that many people voting, so it's not gonna take that
I
long.
mean, we're not, look how many people we are. We're not very many people.
Well, actually, it implies, and I heard it verbalized, that they're gonna send it out to all of the.
Yes.
And so they'll need to see who's been nominated in order to vote for them.
He said no. He said he's not gonna do that.
He's not gonna do what?
In the last meeting, he said, after the nominations, he's not gonna send out ballot forms to all units. That's what he said last time.
So he's deciding.
Michael O'Neill.
So he's gonna pick and choose then?
He said it, people. He said that he is gonna want the people
That's what
at
he
the
said.
meeting.
He said that we have to take the funds from the Emmy Anderson funds to,
Oh, this is different than the one that got mailed to me.
to mail out the ballots.
It's a little.
He is not gonna send out another 364 ballots.
Okay.
He's
I
not-
want to ask a question.
I believe
Are
that's
you
what.
resident council?
Yeah.
Yes, this is resident management
What are the
council.
rules on resident council when you hold an
This
election?
is a,
How do you do it?
this,
Our president isn't here. She's sick. So we have to wait for Michael then to answer those deeper questions. Okay? So we wait for him. He just said he forgot his phone. He had to run back to the office and get his phone.
All right, so we should say
So
that.
we can talk now. We have the treasury thing going. We can do the nomination today. That's what we decided last time. And then whoever is nominated, then the people that are nominating, we're gonna ask him again, okay? Those are the names I understood he's gonna send out ballots to, because he made it clear that he doesn't want people that never show up, don't know what's going on, and are not involved. That's what he said.
Okay, well, we'll work on his ear today or
Yes.
other time.
Yes.
I
No,
like
we can
democracy.
ask him.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I can talk about democracy without everybody.
So, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Fair?
You don't all need to hear me say, Michael, it's
No.
not.
Fair? No, we need you to say
No,
this.
it's not democracy if nobody knows about it. I got a thing in my form that said how it was gonna be, and it wasn't that way.
Fairness is everyone
Everyone.
gets to vote.
Everyone.
Everyone.
You can't pick and choose
That's
from
right.
the residents of who you're gonna mail to. You can't do that.
Well, then you send a ballot to everyone.
That's right. Everyone got a
We're
nomination
gonna,
form.
we're gonna ask him on that.
It's okay. I just think there's more people that wanna be involved, but they don't wanna come to every meeting. They shouldn't have to.
They can go on Zoom.
Well, I mean, they don't have to though.
They don't have to.
If you send something in writing, we should be able to count on what formally arrived from.
Everybody should have an equal access.
Yes, exactly. I'm with you guys.
Well, and then-
Everyone should be able to vote.
What she's saying is what we received is different than what you're telling us.
No, that is what, I'm telling you what Michael O'Neill decided.
That's what she decided.
Did anybody get a form that didn't look like this one?
Where's the form?
It's
Here,
that form, but it
okay,
doesn't-
I got the form. I got the form.
Yeah, it has your minutes on the back.
It had all the officer descriptions on the back,
Right, I mean,
so you would know.
Yeah, and
that-
then turn the other side.
And the other side is very self-explanatory about what we do, what's going on.
I just would, I was
Didn't day like that.
Okay,
on the back of this one.
we got him back, and it really doesn't say much. No, it's not.
That's the one we got in the mail.
It's, Michael, you're changing the rules, but that's okay.
How are we changing it?
The last time we had a meeting, we talked about people that are not attending.
Well, people had to, we have to maybe online.
Yeah, but
Okay, let me finish, second. Get this all connected.
no. Maybe you do.
piece of paper for her for the.
Here, here's a piece of paper. Thank you. You're welcome. I have another piece if anybody needs
Write your
it.
name down and what you're running for, so there's nominations coming to the
There's a definite point I must make.
Okay, well, just wait for Micah. Looks like he's having a glass of milk there. And sand. Take a sip. No, I'm talking to Trish behind you.
She's eating her having some milk.
It's sand. Sand.
It's sand?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Why are you carrying sand around? And she said she's been trying to do something.
It's good thing I'm here tonight.
Alrighty, folks. People need agendas? Does everyone have an agenda?
Yeah, I didn't get one of those.
A nomination form.
Yeah.
He wants a nomination form.
Here's some nomination forms. Everyone got one.
Yeah, I know, but I have a stack of mail, but
Who would like an agenda?
Anybody needs agendas?
Can you hand out to that side? Yeah.
I have one. Yep. Those are the old ones. No, we made those, yeah, we
Hello. Alrighty, folks.
Hello, everyone.
Everyone just quiet for a second. We have Savannah Hartman is on the line. I believe that's all the folks we have right now. That's Savannah, and yeah, that's we'll monitor that. And then we're going to, all right, so I brought some nominations with me. Do we have other nominations?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Do we have any more nominations over there? Nomination form?
And the lady over there, she said she didn't bring it.
I only came because I wanted to see who was nominated, because mine said that you were gonna mail the ballots, and I needed to know the people.
That is
Right.
What
Yeah, that's what
tonight's
we're,
for.
that's what tonight.
What tonight is.
And then we'll be
They
putting,
said there's no ballot, so.
there'll be ballots sent out, and then then will be counted at the May meeting.
So everyone gets to vote?
Yeah,
Everyone has the opportunity
to
to
vote, yes.
all the
So
residents.
now we're sending out the ballots to everyone?
That's what we
But
all
the
decided.
but the last time you said only the people that participate.
Well, but everyone said, no, everyone needs,
Okay,
everyone
so
should,
we're back, yes.
everyone should get the vote. That's-
Okay, good.
Remember, I repeated
Good.
myself? I
Good.
repeated myself for that specific reason.
No, we're good then.
Okay.
I would
Alright,
just
so-
like to make a point.
Okay, hold on one
Guys,
second.
can we-
Hold on one
can we
second.
settle down?
Are there any
Guys, can
other
we settle
nominations
down?
to be handed in? Are we all done with handing in the nomination? Because we'll start processing it
We're
shortly.
filling them out, the ones that just got our paperwork right now.
Okay? We'll give you a few minutes for that. In the meantime, Mary.
I wanted to make the point
Okay.
that
Dutch wants to use a pen.
in our
And the
RMC
nomination?
budget, we specifically asked the Board of Commissioners in December for extra money for the mailings for all this nomination and officer voting, okay? So that is not an issue at all, it's already been budgeted. So everybody can know that.
And I think it's we've gotten more interest, and that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
good
Yes.
That's really good.
I have
Very
a
good.
question.
Yeah.
On this form I just got, it says bring the nominations, the thing, and then it says, put it in the lobby.
No, you bring it to the meeting. If
Right,
you,
it says that, or it says put it in a sealed envelope, mark nominations, and put in any Anderson or student home drop boxes for April 21st.
Well, that's today.
and/or you can bring it to the meeting, which is today, or you can put it in the Dropbox here or over at Stewart Homes.
So, what I'm saying, this is before April 21st.
Today's
Today's
April
April
21st.
Do other people that don't come to this meetings, don't do Zoom, know that they had to have it done by today?
Every resident received a mailing. They're responsible for reading their mail.
Exactly.
So we can't be responsible. It would appear that we,
Exactly, thank you.
just to give us some, just to give yourself some credit, guys, you got probably more response than we've seen in previous elections in a long time. So-
Good.
Thank you.
so
Yay.
just encouraging
Yay.
We got two
That's
more.
because of the stuff you.
Are you done, Trish, with the nominations?
you. No, they're working on it.
Oh.
Now, the person being nominated has to be here, though. That's the one thing.
That's fair.
Yeah. And they have to, it's an opportunity tonight to, alright. So,
You want me to write it down?
so
Or are you
let's,
gonna write it down?
why don't you, do you wanna,
Give me a piece of paper, please. Yes. And I write down the names and how many we got, right? Is this lady from nominate?
I'm not sure.
On Zoom? But we said we can do it by Zoom.
Okay. Folks, I'm gonna turn on record just so we can capture our conversations tonight. Alrighty. Savannah, can you hear us? Very good. Alrighty. So first on the agenda is first we have to go through, see who's nominated. So we still have folks finishing their form. Okay, we'll give you a few more minutes to do that. And are you all good?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Where can the residents go on Houghton's website to find out the rules for resident council? You do have rules for it, right?
We do, it's not on the website though, but I can get them to you. Yeah, we have
The
bylaws.
bylaws.
and-
Yeah, we have the
We have
bylaws.
them right here.
Yeah.
have them right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
But they're not on the website.
They're not on the website. We could probably get them on the website, but we
That
don't
would
have
be
them.
better for people that really can't get in and read the office.
Okay, you ready?
Sophie won. That's her.
So we, you know,
This
just
is-
in terms of
this
the
is
election, the fairness of this, we've been talking about this for
Yes.
like 3 months, and we've mailed it out at this point 3 times. And so, and then we'll have one more mailing. So everyone who would like to be engaged should be engaged. So I think overall you guys did a wonderful job.
We did pretty good,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Last call.
Last call,
Yeah.
ladies.
Okay.
My God.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry, I had to get off of the information.
Add the first name.
A casual group here.
Yes, we are. Quite a few. Yeah, I'm happy the 2 ladies came.
Okay.
Yeah, we just have to stay with what we have. Bill, they've done a lot since COVID. The bill back yesterday. Yeah. Really has.
You okay?
Okay.
We're dropping like flies here.
Okay, okay, that's enough.
Do I need to do the Heimlich?
No, something started to go down the wrong pipe, that's all. You know how that happens sometimes, right?
Heimlich. We're democracy.
Okay, yeah, I want to put this right here. Yep.
Ready?
Okay. Okay. Are we good?
Okay.
Good. Okay. Alrighty, last call for nominations.
Got that.
They have 2 different ones, but
Huh?
they were the same things otherwise.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
Do we agree nominations are closed now? Everyone has
Yes.
an opportunity? Okay. Alrighty. We're a casual group. So, I'm gonna read off each form. Ina's gonna keep track of the nomination for each individual named by office. So the offices are president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. Okay? All right. First nomination for president is Heidi. And we're an informal group with Heidi Hartman. Right. She lives at Stewart Homes. Vice president is Paul Hartman, also of Stewart Homes. Then Sophie, for treasurer, Sophie Yazek, who's not at Stewart Homes, but at Camelot. And then for secretary, Ina.
That's
Here it
me.
is.
That's
All right.
me.
All right, we got all those? All right.
We got
So the next one we have is Heidi for president. Vice president is Paul. Treasurer is Sophie. And secretary is Ina. Okay? Very good.
You guys have to be short.
Woo! That's like being like a political convention.
It's just the second
The
one.
great state of Montana. Alrighty. Next one, you didn't have to nominate the whole slate. So the next one for president is nominated by Will Ayers. Is for president is Will Ayers. Okay. He's here, Debbie Anderson.
He's not here.
Yeah, that's
he's-
Will over there.
He's right there.
Okay.
Okay.
There we are. Great.
Then we have another nomination just for treasurer, and that's for Sophie for treasurer. Okay. We have another nomination just for treasurer, and that's Sophie Yazak. All right. We then have nominations for president Heidi Hartman, vice president Paul Hartman, treasurer Sophie Yazak. Next nomination form, President Heidi Hartman, for Vice President Paul Hartman. No other nominations on that one. This one we have Heidi Keller Hartman, right?
Yeah.
And Paul Hartman for Vice President. They skipped a treasurer. There might have been an error here, but they skipped treasurer and nominated Sophie for secretary. Oh, okay. Move this around. Of course, we can only have one office. Okay. So that would be an interesting move to be the officer, get elected to all the offices. All right. So next up is for president. It says Heidi Keller, so Heidi Hartman. Vice President Paul Hartman. Treasurer Christy D.
Christy D.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Christy, it would be Christy, but I don't. So it's 316.
Yeah, that's Christy.
It's
Okay.
Christy. And then Secretary Sophie Yazak. Okay. Alrighty. Presidents Heidi, Vice President Paul, Secretary Sophie Yazak. No treasurer nomination on that.
It's because the form was done incorrectly. Because it should be president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, but it's flipped.
Yeah, but they can read.
I know.
They can
They
write.
can
No,
read.
it's-
But I'm
no,
just
they
saying,
I don't
it's
know if
probably
that's.
why the secretary is like that.
I don't.
I just
I
think so.
people can write. Okay, President Heidi, Vice President Paul, Treasurer Sophie, Secretary Ina. Okay. This form, there's no nomination for President. There's a nomination for Vice President Paul Hartman, Treasurer Christie, Secretary Sophie. This one has President and Vice President. Heidi Keller Hartman for President, Vice President Paul Hartman. And this one we have for President Heidi, for Vice President Paul, for Treasurer Sophie, for Secretary Ina. Okay, that's
That's all?
That's all.
appears to be all the nominations. Let's make sure it's kind of going
Did you ask the Zoom lady?
Yes, ma'am.
Savannah, you made nomination already? Yes.
Okay.
She submitted a written nomination. Oh, did I get this one? I didn't, no, I did get this one.
Okay.
That was the first one. So we have, now the number of nominations,
We got 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15.
okay,
That's it. Okay.
okay.
We got 10. 11 for Paul. We got Sophie, 1,
3, 4, 5, 6 for Sophie, and 2 for Christy, 1, 2, 3 for Ina, 1, 2, 3, 4 for Sophie. So what are we gonna do when there's
Alright,
too many of
so,
this?
so right now, for president, we have,
Heidi?
Heidi Hartman nomination. And she received the bulk of the nominations, and we have Will Ayers also nominated. Okay?
That was
And
one.
then, so in a minute, we'll give each person a chance. For vice president, we have Paul Hartman is nominated. It's, that's the sole nomination there. For treasurer, and that's, so we have, for treasurer and secretary, we have some, so we have, Sophie has 6 nominations for treasurer,
Christy has 2.
2, Chrissy has 2.
Okay?
And then, very good. Now, for secretary,
Secretary,
Ina, we have 3, and
Sophie.
Sophie has 4. So, the question is, first, Sophie, you can only hold one office. Which office do you want to pursue? It seems like we have a need for treasurer.
We have a great need for a treasurer.
do you
Or
rather wanna
secretary.
be secretary?
Secretary or treasurer?
Do you rather wanna be secretary?
4. I know, but which
Which
office,
one?
it's up to you. Which one do you want to accept nomination for? You can't be up for 2 offices. You want to be for secretary? Okay, alrighty? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and then, so we have, so for treasurer, we have Christy is the only nominee then. And for secretary, we have, Sophie and Ina. Okay? So we'll start with, just brief remarks. We'll begin with Heidi for president. Why would you like to be president of the RMC?
Well, as a dedicated committee member, and I was healthy, spent 20 years across 3 states. So I lived in 3 states, including 16 years in the 6th world. For 4 years in Kama, Sophie, I built a lasting connection with my neighbors. In housing South through the neighborhood barbecues and community events, through the environment with how the housing police department and other resources like the Start Housing Council and Angel Fund and Food Share. I see firsthand the impact of community sports. My kids are both in Hana school system. It was instilled in an idea of giving back. The yearly turkey Thanksgiving food boxes that we always do every year, so these part of it. And donations organizations like God Love, Living Churches, and schools and those in need. So I have done along with that. We also donated used items to the Holland Fire Department, like selfies when they need it. The YWCA and the Big Sky Foot Store, which is huge with Garrett in the community. Seeking characterization on the 5-year plan for housing, I began to attend meetings, including the commissioners meeting that Michael has attended, to understand the scope of housing. I came to you guys, one always been about the kids getting together, out of here. I want to do that. I feel so. That's what's
Mr. Will, you wanna move out here so we can hear you?
Well, I'm coming, my reason for it is much similar to yours. I'd like to be able to help you, help me, help them, help others, help me, help you, help others. You know, at the same time, see some forms of harm reduction started throughout with the youth, finding ways to get them to not wind up where I wound up as a kid, because it's really not the place to be. I would like to see awareness created to where people can have their say if there's troubles, instead of talking behind people's backs or you know, sidewinding them and sidestepping and stealing their laundry, you know, sending them letters in the mail with no name and things like that. You know, be adults, you know, be able to say, hey man, we got a problem. You know, can we straighten this out? You know, and stop the harassment of people. Right? It seems like in this world, people that do good get stepped on, messed with, and not go. I don't like seeing victims. I don't like being backstabbed, backbit, or and I don't want to see anybody else be that. If you get to be president, if you need help, just ask. I'll do what I can. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm kind of like a bowling ball, but I'll still get the pins down. You know, if there's anybody having birthday parties or whatever, I play music. You might see me on the street every now and again, here, there, everywhere. I play from one end of the country to the other. I have discovered how music and art can change people's world, their lives, and get them a direction. Because I am one of those people that if it wasn't for music, I probably wouldn't be standing here right now, because I have just about every diagnosis and classification that they can throw at a person to put them in a little box to dehumanize the brain, you know, keep us all segregated.
Okay.
But, you know, if you don't want me as president, I can understand that. I wouldn't want me as a president either if I just took a look at me. I mean, look at me. I'm covered in ink. You know?
All right, thanks. Something that Heidi said just reminded me. It's like you heard what about the resident management council, and you had to check what the resident management council is. We should have begun this by saying what the resident management council is, because it's a specific thing. It's in both federal law and federal regulation, and it has a sole purpose. And you guys represent all of our PHA residents, and it's to help advise HHA in the operations of the housing authority. It's things like give us feedback on policies, on our annual plan, our capital plan. We come every month just to hear just about what's going on. We talk about things in general. We don't talk about people, individual residents, but it's a give and take between what it says, residents and management. And I think we can point to a lot of things where this council has had a direct influence on prioritization of projects we've done, or when we're changing policies, or whatever the thing is. And so it's a very important thing, and as we do receive funding, and we pay the RMC, you know, the funds every year to help fund this operation, so we appreciate that. So that's what that is. All right.
Okay.
So very good on the president. All right.
Secretary?
Paul, do you want to give a...
Paul, yeah, Paul.
Hello everyone, I'm Paul. You might see me around and view the site. I might say hi to you, and some information. I've also talked with many of the staff stuff, maintenance, and the people that work behind the scenes, up to Michael and stuff. And, you know, there's a lot going on. I've had maintenance workers cry about bad situations that have happened, going into bad apartments. One told me a situation of having a gun pulled on him and stuff, and how scared he was. And it's like, that's not right. I mean, how can we make this better for them? How can we make this better for the staff? How can we make it better for you guys? How can we get together, make everything better, make people see a different side of Helena housing? Instead of people coming by and going, well, that's where the low lives live, is how all this gone. Well, it's not. It's people trying to make people needing a shoulder to cry on, people that need a handout. I mean, we've helped people out, and we've been there. I mean, I came up here from bad situations. Most of everyone knows that. I mean, my past ain't clean as a whistle as a kid. But you know what? I've grown. I take the knowledge I've learned. I want to be friends with my neighbors. I've gone to the 28 sites. I see the problems they're having. I hear the problems the council has. We're trying to find methods and help for everybody. And I think as in the future going into this council and everything, to help the president, to help the secretary, and everyone else, to help you, Michael, and you guys, I think we can do it. So that's my thing. I want to help everyone, and we can do it, right?
All right.
Good
Good,
attitude.
thank you.
All right, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
I'm Sophie. Not everybody knows me, but I live on the scattered sites. And I've lived in housing since 2002, so almost 24 years now. I spent my adult life as an advocate for people with mental illness or with low income, or just with helping out people that I see in the neighborhood. I've been part of 6 different boards in my adult years since 1989 on, 6 different boards where I was either secretary or treasurer. A peer advocate is what I call myself, because I want to help people, whether you have a physical disability, a mental illness, or just low income. I want to be a bridge between the staff at housing, the clients, the tenants, sorry, I'm used to the word clients. The tenants, I want to be a voice for the tenants and for housing. I feel often that the scattered sites are not mentioned often in the RMC.
I know.
I want to bring our people together more. I want to have movie night or barbecues, and I want to have us feel more like a community with everybody. As I started doing this, I didn't realize how many sites were in town. And I've lived in housing for 24 years. And I don't know if everybody else realized how many sites there are and how many people. Part of me is kind of sad at how few nomination papers made it back.
Yeah,
It's more than last night.
more
Because there's
than 4.
366 units around town, and we got a handful of those back.
Yeah.
We got more than a handful.
Well, I know, but
But
it seems
more
like
than
very
before,
few.
that's
I
good.
think last time we had, 2 years ago, we had 5. So we have gone up.
And, you know, I've lived in housing since 2002, and my biggest problem with being part of this process is that I didn't know anything. And I want to change that. I plan, since I'm nominated, I plan on going to the sites that I can and say, hey, I'm Sophie, and I want to be part of this, and please vote for me, and this is what I want to see. So thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. So, just a question for you. I'm looking at our list, and I don't want you to change if you don't want to, but the treasurer is where, now Chrissy's not here tonight.
Yeah.
And so she's nominated twice for treasurer, but you're nominated the
I
most.
can do either one, I've done both
Okay,
before.
would you be willing to accept nomination as treasurer, just so we aren't left with a hole in the,
Sure.
hole in that? And I'd ask the group how, given Christie's, having an emergency, do we give her, we all know Christie, she served this thing, do we allow her to, we'll allow her to be nominated? Is that acceptable to everybody?
Yeah.
That seems a reasonable thing, so but if we'll have you, Sophie, we'll have you on treasurer and Christie as treasurer.
Okay.
And
No,
then Ina,
Sophie and Christie, okay.
okay.
Good.
And then Ina, do you have some remarks to make?
Okay.
You don't have to ask her twice.
Okay, my name is Ina, but
Ina.
everybody says Ina, that's fine. And as a secretary, I love everything what Sophie said. But in my mind, I have been a secretary, a legal secretary and a paralegal for many, many years. A secretary is to put all the important things down that the presidents did down, had to do in combination with HHA. I'll be the one that puts it on the paperwork for you all to know what's going on, if something has to be sent out or not, right? And I personally believe that most of the things that were talked about here tonight is more geared towards the president. They are the go-between the HHA, the tenants, and president and vice president. So I'll be happy to do all this, and I will support the president and vice president, and whoever's treasurer, I will support everyone whenever there's something needed to be printed, typed, copied, whatever. So that's how I see the part as a secretary. I love the ideas that Paul and Heidi had, so I'm with everyone. Thank you.
Now, just a reminder, now the officers ideally work together
Yeah.
in planning meetings and planning interactions, so it doesn't work if, it's important to realize that the president isn't doing this alone, or
Yes.
or the treasurer's not, hey, it's my money. You sit down, you sit down and you should, every month, and you should be meeting maybe more regularly than that. Sometimes early on, we'll visit, we'll set up a meeting after the election where I explain some of the basic rules. I provide you kind of the regulatory environment that we live in. You know, as treasurer, every penny is federal dollars. So we
Exactly.
account it. It's not like, oh, that's pretty close. No.
No.
We account for every dollar. And we do also audit and account for those dollars as well, and they're part of our responsibility for, HHA, we're responsible for every penny we spend in federal dollars. So that's important. But it's really important that the officers work to try to make this interesting. So there's all that advisory things that are very critically important. But what I did mention is a lot of the things that you can do, and you guys touched upon it in your remarks, that ties to community. We can bring in, we're again moving into an election season. In the past, we've had candidates for U.S. Senate. We've had, people running for local office, or people, you can do that kind of thing. We've had a lot of interesting, just since we really got back together again post-COVID, some really interesting things on safety. I think those are all very good. We've had a variety of partners or organizations in. All that is really important, but it's really important that if you can kind of plan those things together, and don't forget, it's resident management council. So I'm a part of that. We're a part of that. Keela is a part of that. But all of us. But it's a collaborative process.
Yeah.
So we will. It's just again. The intent is to send out a ballot to every household, which they can return either to HHA at drop it in the rent box. They can mail it back to us. We can put it in the rent box here, then we will gather here, is it May 19th is what I remember, is that right?
May 19th.
That is May-
19th?
Yes, May 19th.
On the 19th, we will vote, we'll count the ballots, okay? And so, worst case scenario, you wanna get them in before May 19th, okay? All right, anybody questions on that process? So check your mail.
Yep.
And that'll be coming, and again, that will be billed to the RMC, but, I think it's been a good process, and congratulations. Well done, well done.
Very good.
And, do you have a with the list?
Oh, you want that?
Okay.
I would have written it nice. Take it. I'll email it all over to you. I type it up and email it
Good.
all. Yep.
And I will scan these.
You keep these, right? Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, we want to do you should say the pledge of allegiance, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, we haven't, but
Okay.
there is one more on the agenda.
Yeah, there's a couple things. I'll be very quick since time is late, and then when Mary's has a thing, and Paul and Heidi have something on that. agenda
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So there's treasury report. I would just say two things, yeah, treasury report,
We
yeah.
did, we did.
Oh, we
We
did,
already
okay,
did that.
okay.
We're going, yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, just a couple things. As you know, we're in the middle of our third-party independent inspections. Every unit's being inspected. We got through 140 units the last 2 days, and we'll be doing the rest of the week. And as typical that when they do it, the last couple days will be here at M.E. Anderson. But they'll be out in the scattered sites tomorrow. And then probably we'll wrap that up tomorrow. Let's see how many. Well, they may not wrap it up completely tomorrow, but so it could be Thursday. So our inspector's from Texas. He's never been to Montana before. So he's at this point he thinks it's always 80 degrees. He's gonna find out this week.
Spring in Montana.
It's gonna go snow. So we're kind of sitting back and waiting for that all to happen. That's gonna be fun. But so, and then the thing is, the inspection process at times I know can be stressful for folks.
Yeah.
It's really important for everyone, you know, if you can, you know, it's not meant to be a one-time stressful event. It's meant to be just keep in mind the things that you need to do to keep your units, first of all, safe and healthy. So, you know, lots of the stuff that people get flagged on are keep in mind that if you have an apartment that has a gas-fired hot water heater or furnace, putting all kinds of laundry and paper and stuff, not a good idea. That's a fire hazard. So please be careful. It's not like we want like hard-nosed, you know, white glove test. We want people to be safe. We do not want people to be endangered by fire. So be careful. And things like if your unit is cluttered and you can't make a safe egress out to the doorway or to the windows, that again is a safety issue. They're checking us for, you know, make sure the electrical GFCIs, which are the, you know, near water circuit, and all the electricity is working. They're checking our appliances. They're doing all that kind of stuff, and that's a check to make sure that we're maintaining units in a reasonable quality fashion. You know, our units are on average close to 7 years old, so they're old. We know they need some work, but our maintenance really works hard to keep things going. When we turn a unit over and make it ready, we have one standard, that is when we live in that unit. And I haven't seen a unit yet that when it was completely made ready, that it wasn't looking spick and span and looking
They
good.
do look
They
very nice,
do.
you know.
I would love to have those guys come over to my house and clean my things, because they take the, I don't know if you've ever seen our guys looked in a unit when they take the oven completely apart. They got it so clean. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's not self-cleaning. No, it's not self-cleaning. These guys are scrubbing it down. So all that is really important. Now, the thing is, this is probably going to be a year where you're going, boy, these guys are inspecting us all the time. So this is our third party, independent. We get reports that helps us to identify any issues we have to do. We also, from time to time, have a formal HUD inspection. And it is from looking at the system, it says on the system that there's an inspection for HHA scheduled, has been ordered, it says. Which means, so for a long time it was shown that it was under procurement. And so, kind of a strange thing with a lot of things going on with the new administration. I've never seen this happen in all my years, but they've taken a lot of the large contracts and they've given them to totally new companies and stuff. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. So that's kind of always makes me a little nervous. But so we're gonna have a formal HUD inspection at sometime between now and September. I hope it's sooner. If you notice, those of you who kind of keep track of these things, we usually try to do this independent inspection more toward the end of May. But since once it's been ordered, the formal inspection, at any point we can be contacted, and the HUD inspector firm that's been selected will tell us they'll be coming in 28 days. That's the way it works. And so when we know that, we'll let you guys know. But we thought it would be best to get our inspection in, identify key issues and to address them. And then we'll be having sometime, hopefully we hope it's sooner than later. One of the things that happens when we have the inspection, we get tuned up for it. And so like every night, each day the inspection, we get the reports. And so the reports have been pretty minor. We have some, it's fairly common, and it is a major finding in an inspection, and it is for folks who, if people sometimes take down their smoke detectors, that's a grounds for eviction. We don't.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea. And again, why is it?
Why would you do it?
Because
Not a good idea.
Because it's to keep you safe, but HUD takes that very, very seriously. So when we go in the units and they're missing or they're not quite right, so we're doing some making sure that's all taken care of. And we cleared up a thing. We have, particularly at Stewart Homes, we have Velcro closures on our electric boxes, and then we got. Initially, we were having a debate. We did get clarification that that's perfectly fine. Stuff like that. The other more common thing we've been having so far this year is, and we replaced a ton of these in the last few years, is the GFCI. When you're near water, they're designed to keep you from getting shocked, and so they flip a certain way. And if they're not flipping, then they have to be replaced. So it's that kind of stuff that gets identified. But the most common thing that residents can really take care of is keeping flammable things away from flames. We don't want to see that happen. And then we haven't seen it so much this year, but things like running power cords across, very bad, very unsafe. Those kind of things will be flagged. But so they'll be coming through this week. Make sure your animals are secure. If you're going to be gone out of the unit, all those things. We put that in the letter that goes out in the notices. We notice it twice these inspections, and that's to keep our staff safe and also keep your animals safe. We can't be responsible if we open the door and it's like, what was that? It's like
Mine is gonna go home with you. Mine is
Mine
gonna go home with you.
I love, there's a puppy.
She loves
I love
everyone.
puppies. Yeah, I love puppies.
I almost ran someone's cat over yesterday.
Yeah.
No, Jasmine.
Their cat ran right in front of us.
What's that?
Their cat ran right in front of us.
Who?
Jasmine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you avoid it? That's good.
They were outside trying to catch it around the
Yeah.
garden in front of us.
Yeah, no, trying to catch a cat, I have a doodle dog, and I have a rule that says, never chase the doodle. Let the doodle come to you.
So what can we do, Michael, because there's way too many cats or loose all over our homes. I mean, there's probably 10 cats that are always out, they're peeing on our front, and we have to clean it every time.
It's an every week thing.
It's everything, people won't kick in, you know what I mean?
Or get them fixed.
Okay, but that's.
No, the cats and, cats and dogs, if there are some people with illegal pets, but at Stewart Homes, you can't have pets. So, but you can have emotional support animals. And so, in order to have an animal, you need to have permission to have an animal. So, as a reasonable accommodation. Yeah.
If they have dogs or cats, are they supposed to be fixed? I know that was a rule when I moved in there.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember if that's specified for that, but, yeah, it's just a good idea. I mean, it's hard enough to take care of one animal. If you have a whole bunch of them, it's a big, again, so many of these things really require what we talk about so much, and that people view it's a cop-out. It's not.
Are they
We-
required to have their shots?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, everyone has to be responsible for being, if everyone follows the rules and they're thoughtful about each other,
Right.
everything works a lot better. If people
Yeah.
don't think about others and stuff, it's a hard thing. But we do frequently engage the animal control officer when
Yeah,
the situation.
I have too,
Yeah,
so-
so that is a challenge. I forget the
Yeah.
second thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, I know the second thing I wanted to talk about tonight. We did have meetings with Pureview about bringing the mobile medical clinic here, and we think we'll set up a schedule. We'll put the word out. We'll probably set up a regular thing, and it's like a big, a big van. They can pull up. We'll probably park it down near the side dumpster here, and we may also set them up maybe in a room, like where the glass room downstairs. We cover up the walls, and the thinking there is a lot of people already see Pureview. It's not to necessarily replace going over to see your doctor there, but it'll be a lot of stuff like if people have health conditions that need monitoring, you can get blood work done, do all those things. But as we get going with it, it really is, if people use it, the more likely that we'll continue to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm still figuring it out whether we'll schedule some time with folks and you can have appointments, or we'll just be we'll let you know when it's going to happen. I think a little combination of both will be there, but it's I think it'll be something I've wanted to see happen for a long time, so I'm excited about that.
That's
How can
good.
that transfer to the scatter sites?
What's that?
How can that transfer to the scatter sites?
Well, I doubt it will that we'll be able to do it at the scattered sites, because scattered sites, it's not that we don't care about the scattered sites, we care deeply about the scattered sites, but what is needed for something like the mobile health clinic is a concentration of people. And so we want to first get it started up at Amy Anderson, because we have a higher number of people with health conditions, with disabling conditions, and then our next step will be having it at Stewart Homes, and there might be a slightly different focus. That might be like vaccination clinics or back to school physicals, or we'll do different things like that. But the Pureview and the health department want to work with us. The van is owned by the health department, and the staffing is through Pureview. So yes, Jane.
Could the satellites, in your mind, eventually maybe have somebody that could go to, like, the Stewart Homes are here, if they needed to get to a doctor to get those?
Sure. That we'll spread the word. If we get a schedule,
Then you have it
will
on
be a schedule. There'll be known on these days. These folks will be here
in the future.
in the
that
future.
could be
But
possible.
we don't see that. You can also go to Pureview, and they have 2 sites in
I have a
town,
question.
stuff like that. Yes.
I've been sitting here and I've been listening,
What's that?
I've been sitting here and I've been listening, and I hear Amy Anderson, Stuart Holmes, and scattered sites are sort of being put off to the side. We have a right to what they can have. And I don't hear we're gonna try and get this for you. I don't hear you can have this as far as scattered sites go. So why don't you go start giving scattered sites?
Well, scattered sites, we always let people know at scattered sites what's going on. What I just explained is that for a mobile clinic, they're not doing door to door. They're gonna be available, and so, we don't have facilities or anything at the scattered sites, and so that's why, and by having it at 2 Stuart Homes or at Amy Anderson, our hope is that it would be convenient, folks. So it's not exclusive to just these sites. That it'll be available to you if you would like to access
This is
it.
an example I was thinking about as really low-key things. It was really helpful for me during the early COVID. You had the shots here, but you also had people from other areas come and get the shots from there.
Yeah.
That's what I was just gonna
And it
say.
seems like the flu shot, it's getting harder to find them. They're not.
Yeah. No, it's exactly that.
And they could connect.
Those of you remember how we ran the vaccination clinics, and you know we did flu shots this past year. We didn't get much turnout on that this year.
One thing we could do for the scattered sites was let the scattered sites know, or me, or whatever, to
Yeah.
take them and say, this day Purview's gonna be at Emmy Anderson.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Once we figure out kind of a schedule and routine,
In the future,
and we'll get that posted, and people will know. And then first we'll get it started here. But if you're interested, you can come over here and do those things. But especially if we're doing something special like a vaccination clinic or something on a particular day, because it's really important to them, because they want to use their staff effectively, and they want to see as many people as possible. So
What I'm saying, and you have your scattered sites, and you're saying they can come, but you have people in scattered sites that don't drive,
Mhm.
they're immobile, and your bus system, I'm sorry to shoot.
I don't have a bus system.
No, you have Helena.
Yeah.
So can't you do something for scattered sites when you're doing this to make arrangements to give them their people like everybody else is getting?
We're not giving rides to anyone in our services. We don't provide rides.
I'm not saying
folks,
you,
yeah.
couldn't you find an organization or something that would help do that for scattered sites?
We could talk about that, and we have actually brought this up here before. That is a great idea, and I think we can come up with something to make that work. Yes.
Yeah, we just don't have a transportation system.
Yeah.
And that if it amounts for any, counts for anything, I regularly advocate for an improved transportation system.
What
I
I'm
bring
saying
that up
is
every
not
year.
you, but there should be an organization that would help these
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that can't get there because of the bus system in Helena.
There's other partnerships we were working on that do benefit folks at multiple sites. Our Housing is Healthcare Fuse initiative, our major partner there is St. Peter's Health, and so they have community health workers, and they're working with many of our residents doesn't matter where they live, they're working in their, in their units and things like that. So, I'll keep that in mind. I just want to be clear, it's that we're not dismissing scattered sites. It's not that we don't care for scattered sites. It's just that, some scattered sites are a single home.
Right.
Some are duplexes, some are fourplexes, some are a little larger, eightplexes, kind of thing. But we generally, when we're putting on something, we're trying to, the reason we have it here or at Stewart Homes is that we have a larger concentration of folks. And it may be closer, it's also different sides of town, a little bit, and so hopefully people can get there.
Not you, but since resident councils for the residents, can they not look into getting this stuff for the residents?
What's that?
We just mentioned that. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try to figure that out, right?
Right.
Yeah,
That's one of our,
one of my things, if I get president, that is one of the things we'll work on.
One of the things, we would encourage folks is that you know, you can Zoom on your phone, you can Zoom on a tablet, you can Zoom, you know, if people can't come to a meeting. We'd like to get people on the Zoom, and we'll work on things. This isn't a great room, believe it or not, if we set up a video conferencing equipment here, all we'll probably hear is this.
And it
kind of
echoes,
thing.
yeah, it echoes.
The echo is pretty
Yeah,
bad. but
it echoes
it's,
bad.
we do want to figure out ways that experience can be better. And we do value all of our residents. We're trying to get residents. It's a good idea. Maybe we'll have the postings on our websites, and hopefully it's a regular schedule. Or if it's going to be special events, like Stewart Homes, I can see it being more special events. You'll know where it is. And are people interested in vaccination clinics? Like flu shots?
Well, I know, if not me, I know people that are struggling with that commitment because the change in St. Peter's doctors, you know, so I mean.
Yeah. No, it
you
is.
see that happening.
No, all of a sudden it's like really hard to,
Yeah.
you know, and then there's a lot of confusion, just changes, nothing's different these days, but.
The other thing about satellite, I have to say, being an old farm girl, it was really hard for me to live in apartment settings, and now I live in a duplex, and my happy zone really changed by just not even having the energy of living with so many people in a concentrated area. That seems weird, but it seems like my neighbors in my scattered site do better because it's not so energetic, and so there's a give and take of why we do there.
Yeah.
Everybody's a little bit different.
We'll have something.
Hey, Will, can you not have your cigarette out? Because, I know, but it's just generally,
Quit waving it around.
it's a prop?
It's kind of a prop. Brian was one of my heroes as a kid, but it keeps me, it's like a kid with his music. Because
Okay,
I got
okay.
All right, but if I understood correctly, what a scattered site is not one of these places, but a couple of apartments over in one part of town. A couple of
So,
apartments
we have
over-
three major ways we talk about our housing in public housing. We have Stewart Homes, we have 132 units there. We have 76 units here, and then we have 158 units. It's actually the biggest chunk of us, but it's broken into single-family homes. We have duplexes, we have fourplexes, we have eightplexes, we have a 15plex, and so it's all over. And I think you guys have, every year I show the map. I show the map, and there, up until 1981, when the country was supporting public housing, we grew with the city. And so that's everywhere. But they were all in small settings that where,
So,
yeah,
I was not wrong in what I
yeah,
believed.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just.
Yeah, that's-
I hear something
And then make it confused, when HUD talks about scatter sites, you're talking about something different. You occasionally hear me confusing about that, but, okay.
Okay, we
I'm
got
done,
that.
I'm
Good.
done, yeah.
All right, we have the last one.
We have two more,
Two
Hall
more?
Storage and Paul and Heidi.
Okay,
There you go first.
Okay, well, the hall storage is for this building is what I'm trying to approach. And we have several rigs, what I call a rig, mechanical wheelchair, parked in our halls. And for quite a few of us, we think that that's a little unfair that some people can do that and some people can't. Now, frankly, I'd like to get me an electrical bike. I'd like to get an electric bike. And I'd like to park it in the hall. And if other
Okay.
people are doing it,
Well, let's talk about how those scenarios work. So, people can give us a specific need, raise disability or chronic health condition. Sometimes may have a situation where they have to ask permission, called reasonable accommodation. You know, it's if you're asking for some physical change, it's called reasonable modification. And so there's a whole process for that. And so, no, things are not to be generally stored and out in the hallways. There's a lot of reasons for that. And so, you know, it's not a general thing. Oh, it's not a fairness. The thing about reasonable accommodation, reasonable accommodation is kind of an accommodation to the regular rule-based system, and there's a weighing of that, and so that's done on an individual basis. It's based on a requirement from a doctor, and so, and it's also, is it reasonable? So on something like a wheelchair or something, there would be some underlying reasons why it doesn't, you know, we would identify that it can be stored safely in the hallway and then it can't be stored in the unit. So it's not a general thing, but it's sometimes difficult. The concept we have, I know among staff sometimes, they're like, well, why does someone with a disability or a chronic health condition, why do they get treated differently? Well, they don't get treated differently. It's about equal opportunity. And so a reasonable accommodation is about allowing a person with a disabling condition or a health condition to be able to have an equal opportunity to fully participate. And so there's a myriad of things sometimes people ask for reasonable accommodation. But that's what it is. But generally, we don't put things in the hallway for very good reason, because it's
Fire
safe and
safety.
stuff.
Yeah.
So
So we can-
That's the other issue,
Yeah.
is there's been several times when rigs have been parked in front of windows, and that's against fire regulations.
We'll
And
have
I've
to
seen
keep an
them
eye
and
to
I
see
have
where they're
pictures.
being parked. But again, specific, I can
Yeah.
talk about generally why we might have a different situation, but I can't talk about any individual situation.
No.
But if you,
No, I'm
if you,
not doing
but if
that
you have a
either.
concern about an individual circumstance, you can let your property manager know. And again, is one of these words that people often call me up
Yeah, you
for.
can
We'll look
always
into
use
it.
me.
We look into all these things. People think we spend our days just like, oh, no, we look into things.
On the
We check
river.
on things. Huh?
On the river.
On the river. No, and we're busy. So, but it's important. But I'm glad it's a great question, because I don't want it to be that we're treating people differently just based on, oh, we like that person or not.
So
No.
that is actually what the reasonable accommodations are for, right?
That's what reasonable
People
accommodation-
have to present it,
Yeah.
and then it needs to be checked, okay?
It has to be
all
checked,
right.
and that might, if someone needs a piece of equipment and it can't be stored in their unit, and then we can find a safe place it can be stored, that's what we can do. But generally, we're not gonna be storing things in hallways, and, sometimes, and, your own spaces, you kind of have your thing. Sometimes, every once in a while, we have people going, oh, well, I want to decorate all the halls. No, we don't do that, all that kind of
Christmas
things.
trees and all
Again,
that.
it's like, oh, well, why can't I do that? No, well, we don't, no, can't do that. But
I'm
So-
going to suggest that you do some sort of a notification or flyer or something that explains what you just explained. Because I hear a lot of people complaining that there's picking and choosing about who can do things. I'm just saying that is
I
what
can
goes
do that
around in
too,
this
a
building.
blue in my face, I can explain it to you, that the thing is, what's really important is that, and I think every one of you could probably say this if you've had dealings with us, is that we try, everyone has an individual situation. And so, and it's kind of what Will was saying, we can spend a lot of time going, I can assure you, we are not picking favorites or doing those things. We're too busy. We love you all. How can we pick our favorite?
The other side
Sure.
of reasonable accommodation is covered by HIPAA. So
We
if
can't-
you
we
told
can't-
them
yeah.
why I had my oxygen somewhere,
Yeah.
I could say, why are you
Why,
talking about my oxygen?
exactly. Everyone has an individual situation, and we will protect
individual.
your privacy
Yeah.
as much as anyone else's privacy. And this comes up often on privacy when people go, they report something, they're having a problem with a neighbor, and we say, we'll look into it.
Right.
And people go, oh, but you didn't report back to me what you did to that person and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. But, it just, that isn't, we have to respect everyone's confidentiality and privacy even in difficult circumstances. Sometimes would be like, yeah, we'd love to be able to say what we're doing. We're working really hard on it. And people sometimes also misunderstand when we're taking serious action about folks, eviction. We don't take that lightly, but certain circumstances that's going to require an eviction. It doesn't happen overnight. You follow the law as you would want it to be followed. Yeah.
I do want to say one thing as a thank you. I had mentioned one of the meetings I was at, not the last one, but the one before that, that our snow was put in the wrong, on the sidewalks and stuff at our housing. He fixed that.
I remember that.
I remember that too.
Good. I mean, they put in there really good.
Yeah.
I shoveled
Good job.
it. The first time I shoveled it myself.
Oh, did
And
you?
I said, I stood on site, I had my phone on with video, I'm calling our snow contractor.
Yes.
Jimmy, guess where I am? Look at this.
That was a good way
You're
to
not
do
gonna
it.
miss it, we're not gonna, yeah.
They
so-
always put the snow up against that one building, that the middle building.
I'm not
and
sure
now
whether,
they-
it made no sense, but.
No, but yeah, no.
But we don't know that's happening, sometimes it's one guy, they train the guy the first time, and he's like, oh, they told me to put it there, it's like, makes no sense, and he just like, oh, he just keeps putting it there, no. So just let us know, we're always, we can't always solve every problem right away, but we try to be very responsive.
I mean, you go to video,
Okay.
everything.
Does that answer your question, Mary?
For now.
Okay. Alrighty. It'll be part
now.
two.
Part two.
okay.
There may be a part two coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys
Paul?
had
Yeah.
an issue?
Over the last month and a half now, I've heard from a lot of the different scattered sites, and off of our own site too, someone caught teenagers on their door cam, stealing off of their porch, cars have been broken into, there's no cameras to catch these people. A lot of these
There's
people,
all kinds of cameras.
a lot of people catch little bits and stuff.
It's been off the sites. There's no
Yeah.
cameras at my site.
Oh, at your offsites, okay.
Offset, yeah.
So a couple things. If there a crime is occurring, please call the police. Call the police and the police will
Yes.
come.
Yes.
If it's a
Yes.
site where we have cameras, this site and Stewart Homes, and again, just to be clear, it's not that we're picking favorites why we have things. What we don't have at scattered sites is we don't have our own electricity. So,
You explained that last time.
so that's why we don't have cameras there, because otherwise we'd be plugging into your electric. And so, no one's been volunteering yet for us to pay for our electricity that we have there.
But
But
the issue about this is, the people that this has been happening to, a lot of them are not reporting it
yeah,
because they don't feel comfortable to report
Yeah.
it, they don't feel that anyone's gonna take their side.
That's part of the problem. Yeah, that is part of the problem. I believe we need to weigh out what is really important. If it's of course dangerous, call the
The
police.
thing we wanna bring up is to help look out for your neighbors.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Because
Good idea,
I've seen
yeah,
a lot of the elderly,
Yeah.
they're getting their stuff swiped, and
Couple things there is like, look out for each other.
Exactly.
But do not hesitate. We have a wonderful police force in this town. It's very well trained and they're very responsive.
so.
Good.
Chief Petty is one of the finest persons I know. I'm really proud of him.
They became like our show is tempted. They really tried to cut off the
The face of the door.
face. We're like,
With
what
a
the?
slim bar, with a crowbar.
We're at your place?
Yes.
Okay. So again, we don't have cameras necessarily on every place, but at a place like Stewart Homes, we're here. Again, time and date, roughly,
Right.
we can look on our cameras where it was occurring. And the police department, the other thing are sometimes with the teenagers walking through at lunchtime, something they
That's a
can be.
major problem
yeah,
over by, Troy Court. They
So-
make to come through.
Yeah.
walk
And that's okay, because we don't want to be like the forbidden zone, but if they're messing around with things, a school resource officer comes through and checks on that, but if there is a situation, we can call the police and we have the school resource officers right away. But the other thing is just to take some steps to protect your possessions, so lock your car door, If your windows are down, it's a lot easier to get into your car, just take some simple steps like that. But if you see something, say
Say
something.
something.
If something looks suspicious, You can take pictures on your phone, take whatever info you can get with your
Yeah.
brain, call law enforcement,
Yeah.
give them
They
any
call
details.
And don't confront people.
Yeah, and that was the part of the thing, is use
Yeah.
the police force.
Yes.
Because you're not the law, and
Yes.
we're not, vigilantes or anything like that, it was just, is safer that way. And the thing is, and also recognize that, the fact that, the police didn't do anything. Well, what frequently will do, they'll start paying a little closer attention.
Yeah,
And then it may not be that next thing, but they'll be paying attention, especially if someone's doing, regularly kind of causing a bother. They
And the
will
word
check
will
it.
get around that police is looking out.
Yeah,
now.
looking
I
Yeah.
have, then they called them a couple months, other year, the high schools, the rally, would call and say, this come patrol over here, kind of keep things.
We had got a call
Yeah.
because this one kid did get jumped in the bar.
Right, in Lincoln.
Yeah, and so over at Massman Park, that the kids walk over from high school, and that's where they have their fights. But we call the police every time on that kind of thing. And this year seems to be we had a couple fights this year, but yeah, it's a weird year. But the thing is, let's be clear that you're safe. We're kind of run a small town, and in terms of HHA, we're larger than a lot of Montana towns in terms of the number of people that live here. So we have we can have a little bit of issues, but a lot of times it's not our folks. It's just people coming through
Just
and acting out
yeah.
people. And so we all, just like everything else, we all look out for each other. So
Exactly, we have to keep our eyes on our neighbors and
yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
I'm always looking out the window to see who's coming and go.
That's you then. That was you doing that?
I should also add that you can go overboard with paying attention. But
Yeah.
we do have some residents who that's all they do is keep an eye and so
That's their
and
thing.
that's their thing,
Okay.
but it's probably not mentally healthy to be
No,
worried all
but
day long about
it's
things.
their
Did you
thing.
watch some of the scattered sites like we're at?
What's that?
Like, where the scattered site we're on?
Yeah.
The kids in the neighborhood, not in the house where they live, don't really have a lot to play, and they play in the street in front of where I live.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to know the parents that aren't in housing, and I could say, your son's been banging on the car or something, and they'll say, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe if you, not even if they're a housing neighbor, if you know who the kid you are and he's causing
Yeah.
problems, just tell the parent.
Yeah, say hello.
Yes.
Say hello to your neighbors, not just here at
Yes.
the housing, but that's
No.
an excellent point.
Get to know
Say
your
hello-
neighbors.
Get to know your
Yeah.
neighbors, and you get friendships out of that.
Yeah.
And that's the way the world works, especially with young kids. What you shouldn't do is be yelling at kids yourself. That's why they have a parent, and not every parent's gonna necessarily give you a thing, but I do, from time to time, we do get, we video or something of a resident going off on a child,
Yeah, not
and that
good.
is not acceptable.
No,
There is
that's
no
not
acceptable, and sometimes there's like, you stepped off onto my lawn, like a Stewart home, that's all community ground, there's not like really, there's separate yards and things like that. And if you're chasing down people and yelling at 8-year-olds, you need to stop and go, no.
No.
I know what the thing is, but that's the thing, it's like, and that's where talking to the parent is
They
really
have
important.
parents,
They have parents,
exactly, they have
exactly.
parents.
Interacting with people, and children, of the lack thereof is one of the main problems for children are in the situation they are, and why we're all in the situation we are in. When I was a kid, if I was outside and my neighbor saw me stab somebody's tire or break their window, I'd get my ass whooped by my neighbor and then my parents, right? Okay, and now, I don't touch what ain't mine unless it's by a dumpster. I don't, If this gets thrown away, once it's thrown away, it's open to me, or unless I ask.
That's,
Because that's the way we're supposed to be. And if I see somebody messing up, if I don't say, hey, man, check it out, you know, you see that hole right there? You're gonna fall in
yeah, I
that
know,
hole.
I
If
think
you
that
don't
is,
stand still, right? And if they fall into the hole after I say something to them,
was a yellow.
that's on them.
This.
But if I let
What is
them fall
this?
into that hole, or I let
That's
them
what I
do
think.
something stupid, hurt a neighbor,
I know
hurt
what
somebody
you
else,
bite into
without
this.
saying,
No,
hey, man,
that's
check it
why.
out, you don't gotta be that way. Then it's on me. And I can't do that. And
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, again, he's not telling you to like be chasing people down. He's just saying, if you see someone doing something, they say, hey, don't do that, you know. The dog thing, we talk about dogs all the time. If you're out, someone's walking a dog, and you know, if you can just say, hey, can you pick up after the dog?
Yeah.
And some people may not take that well. But generally, if you do it gently and politely, and if they're, then that's their problem. You can't control them, you go, okay, but you take the dog thing.
If half of the people are accepting, we won, right?
That's
So
true.
there
Well,
you
I
go,
think
just
it's
no
well
con-
over half the people.
no confronting, no
It's
fighting.
actually a very, maybe 10% of
Is it
people will, 10% of people might
Isn't that-
cause,
that's
you know,
it?
may cause issues. 90% of people.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think generally we have, do you think 50% of people are causing problems?
I usually just say half.
Or half and half? No, I think it's much better than that.
So
I think
it's much better?
Yeah, no, it's.
All right.
it's
Well,
like,
that's great.
Because we sometimes, you know, it's
great.
like with any, you know, we always talk as an organization, in any customer, you spend 90% of the time, 10% of the challenging situations, you know, and so, what we remind ourselves is that shouldn't be our focus all the time.
Yeah.
We need to be looking out, and that's why we're always looking for things, we make things better, but
Okay,
again, we'll,
that's good to know then.
and so we meet on May 19th. We'll be doing a mailing. I will make up
During the
a,
mailing, May
make up an example,
19th, yes.
and I'll run it around you guys
I'll type it
before
up
we
and
goes
email
up.
it all over.
Okay, will you type it up? Yeah.
We meet here,
We will meet, we've been alternating. We'll meet at Stewart Homes then?
Stuart Homes next time.
Okay.
Does
Okay,
that work?
sounds good. So that's May 19th, that.
I have one
Yeah.
little question.
Yeah.
You're doing such a great job. I mean, really, it's a big thing. But I don't know if I started it, but I think people are really interested in what the big plan is. And I don't know how you're gonna tolerate everyone calling and saying, are you gonna redo my window next week? Because that is like, as you talk about and the city talks about all this remodeling.
Yeah.
People are really excited, but they're also kind of anxious about it. And I can't imagine the pressure that's gonna come to
So-
this council and your staff, because
So as we get into that, you'll be so sick of talking to us. So we'll be talking in groups, and then as we're getting to a
so
specific
we're gonna
area.
see that. I mean, we've
You're gonna
waited
see
a long
that,
time.
we'll be in groups, but we'll also be talking to individual households. Because we know individual households will be the most intimately impacted. And so especially if we have to move you temporarily, you
Right.
know, we'll explain, and that will all be done well in
So
advance.
you're getting closer to having the big plan.
Yes.
That,
So the next, and
People
we,
are
we've been,
so excited about it.
so we had, you know, I forget if you were here for the whole annual plan. So, you know, so the next step in that is that we're in the process of public procurement of development partners. And then they will be the ones that will help us. We just don't have the capacity to do all the work that's involved in terms of, we have to do certain kinds of financing and all this. So there's folks that just do that kind of work, and we'll be working with one or more developer partners. And a lot of the things, we don't control all the variables. We're kind of in a certain uncertain period in the country's history. You've been paying any attention. It's not particularly friendly to the needs of low-income people or
You mean the
any of you guys billionaires. It would be probably helpful if you were a billionaire. Those kind of things is kind of the challenges.
We wish,
And so-
right?
So, you know, yeah, yeah.
Are you going to have your own, what we call, benches?
What's that?
Benches went through all this before. And they had in person.
I'm sorry, we got two people talking over here. Excuse me. We can't hear you. Can you have them?
Yeah.
My number is 4097.
All right, go ahead.
You just went through this. All right, thank you. They had
They're leaving.
Who went through this? Oh, okay, yes. Like,
We have a person from housing.
they had someone who was watching.
We had like people into the signs and make sure they were doing everything right, because some of them, they get in there and cruise and decide, well, we can do this, but it's not what they told housing they do, so we're gonna have.
So we have, yeah, one construction manager.
Okay.
So, yeah, no. Trust but verify, yes. Trust but verify.
So it's gonna happen, so, because I read it in your papers and you had a meeting with everybody
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I hope soon. God help me. Yeah, but no, so the next step, once we have that developer partner going on, we'll be putting applications together for what's called low-income housing tax credits. And that will be a primary way that we'll be funding these things. You know, one of the developer partners may work with the guy who is Butte. But we have to go through that whole process. We get things going. Everything takes so much longer.
I won't hand it over.
So I don't get to retire until
I
it's
won't.
done, so.
No.
There's no way that's gonna happen. That can't happen.
Well, like in this building, to get her funding there, they went where the units were like section 8.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. It's called reposition.
Right.
And you haven't had a chance to, no, I don't even know if we.
I was on the board.
What's your first name?
That's it.
That's it, okay.
Rebecca's like about to retire.
Yeah. Well, she's still working. She hasn't retired.
Oh, she's not.
She's moving now.
Yeah.
Kind of tell her what you got. But, so yes, so that's the process
I'm gonna
we're
take
doing.
another one.
Ours is a little more complicated. And then we actually have, also some plans eventually to also build additional housing because there's some extra land attached to the public housing. That's where it's just a little different here, but, so we hope to be underway here, you know, maybe this time next year. But this won't happen. Sewer homes will be first. Sewer homes. Yeah.
You guys sent the heater and heater them, our air conditioner was on constant.
Okay, you need to call in a work order.
I know, my God, those people have.
No, you gotta call in a work order.
Nobody answers the phone.
That's,
For now.
that's not true.
I would
We have to
tell-
phone all day long.
Seriously, we call several times a day and nobody answers the phone.
You know what they're saying, they may be, they're answering the phone all day long, so if they're on the phone, they can't take your call, but you can leave a message, or they're going, but please put in a work order if you're having a problem. One thing we're gonna have, and it's probably now as we're moving to a shoulder season, you know, where some days it's gonna be hot, some days it's gonna be cold, is again, a training on the thermostats. Because it's an ongoing
Yeah.
battle, but,
A lot of
but the thing is,
things are bad.
there's things, and I will, what's your unit number?
209.
209, I will check on
I
that.
got
So
it.
our system allows us to know what your temperature is
Yeah.
in your unit 24/7.
We turn it off right now.
Well, again, what I'm asking is, this thing where people are like, oh, well, I just turned off my heat, or I fixed that thermostat, I ripped it off the faucet, or whatever. I can't tell you how much time and money we put into trying to get thermostats that people can work with. And I think generally, are we kind of there? I'm expecting, today I actually expected a lot more calls on it because it's probably a sign that it actually, because if you're on auto, it's
Yeah.
probably what it should be in, that when it gets hot, it will cool off. And when it gets cold, it will get hot. So hopefully that's working. I mean, we spent a lot of money to
Yeah.
redo the HVAC because we knew that was a problem.
I have not,
Cool.
and it's true, I have not touched my thermostat, I don't know, in 6-7 months.
Oh, wow.
So once it's figured out, right, it's working okay. Little quirks will be there now and then. I just don't touch it. That's it. So that's me.
Just
But
pretty much keep it off.
when you're calling the office, just recognize that the front desk is answering calls all day long. And so if you don't get somebody, leave
Are
a
we done?
message and we'll get back
Are
to
we
you.
done?
Or call your property manager.
It's all done.
You know your property, you should know
Okay.
every person has a direct line, and that's listed on our website. You can call them directly, you don't even have to go through the switchboard. Okay?
Cool.
Are we good?
I have one.
Okay.
A couple weeks ago, my
Snuck it.
neighbor, Marguerite and her son Michael on 4th floor.
Okay, we don't talk about individuals.
Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
402.
We don't talk about individuals, but talk about it in a general way, okay?
That's
They
for them
came
to
into
deal with.
their apartment, they
Yeah.
tried with their key, and could not. They tried, I tried, our neighbor tried, they finally got a hold of me and said, come let them in. But for several hours, he tried to get into his apartment with his key. Somehow, something happened to the lock. So, this was about 2 weeks ago, I don't know if he turned it in, he's got a camera, but he has to go back second by second by second to check it. Is there any way we can go back and look at the cameras and have that checked out for
Well, I need to know a date
I'll look it up.
and a time, because you can imagine, we're looking for 24, around what the date, and we can look and see what's going on. Are you concerned someone tried breaking into it?
Yes.
Because a lock was broken?
Because he couldn't get his key that he's had for many years.
We have, this morning, I couldn't get into our back door at Stewart Homes, the lock failed. So it happens. But if you give me a time and place, we can look at things, but we generally, it's difficult to do kind of chasing, like, well, it's like, if we particularly know, it's like, oh, there was a person, we think there was a person who was doing something, because locks do break. I mean, I wouldn't jump to the conclusion if a lock wasn't working properly, it's not because someone came in and broke the lock. Locks do break, and that's why our 24/7 on call rolls on a lockout for that reason, because we want people to not be locked out of their unit. So that is a tough spot when people are locked out. So we understand. Okay, but if you think there was something underhand, we know where it is. We can see it. If it's inside, we can see if someone was messing with a lock. Okay.
And we had an accident for free run time for locks.
In the free room? Okay,
Again.
okay. And what was that situation?
Well, that was handled, right?
My videos never went through to Jen.
Oh, well, someone
Okay, so
dropped a bunch of things there, so.
they dropped a bunch of
But it
things,
was cleaned up.
like broke things, like.
No, boxes and all
Several
things.
boxes out there.
It was handled.
It was a mess.
It was.
Again, something like that, date and time, and we can then follow
Yeah.
up and go, hey, this isn't, it's not
Try
all
to
much
show
of
my
it.
video, but
Yeah. But if you have it on the video, what's easiest is that you can just tell Jenna, it was at this time on this day, you can look it up, and we didn't have the video. We may not have the video inside that room, but we'll be able to see who's carrying boxes. And we can then talk, say, hey, we don't want to be dumping stuff. Okay, are we all good? Are we adjourned? See you, Savannah. Thank you. May 19th.